Good afternoon, good evening to all you viewers who are watching WCA TV. Today we are here bringing you the main man behind this program of WCA, the Writers Club Association. It was started by a youth like all of us, and without further ado, we are going to ask him a few questions, find out how he made it in life and how he has brought it up to this stage. I introduce to you
Jolly Joy Mawere.
Yes. Well, in this show, we're going to be asking a few questions because, like any other youth, any other department, we find challenges, and everyone wants to start up something when I saw proposing. Yes. Oh. Well, Mr. John, could you please tell us about that? Give us a brief history, a brief interview, like a brief introduction of WCA, what it is, what it stands for, and what it was meant to do.
WCA, in full, it is Writers Club Association. This Writers Club Association is a collection of all writers, all genres, whether novelist, whether you are playwriter, script writers, copywriters. As long as you can put a pen down, you can fight using a pen, you can express your feelings using a pen, using your computer, using any writing of any kind, anywhere, you can be part of the Writers Club Association.
So, how did you start up with this idea of introducing a television station or a YouTube channel called WCA TV for it to become part of the WCA Association's family?
Our motto is we either write what is worth to be read or we do what is worth to be written. That is our motto of the Writers Club Association. Now, in the COVID-19 period and the catastrophe that came onto the youth, we sat down as the cabinet of the WCA and said which program can really collect all youths all around the world, and it is not part of it. And then we decided to bring in the WCA TV. So we sat down and said, we are writers, how are we going to inform other youths about the catastrophe, about the different disasters that are in the world. So we saw the first thing is a YouTube channel whereby we never needed anything like too much capital, work and everything.
Yeah. So what you're trying is that any youth out there who is capable can start up something that is viable and worth to be written.
Yeah.
No matter how they are, and they just start and shall rise up.
Starting up something doesn't need you to be having or to accumulate a lot of wealth. Because the people you're seeing with a lot of wealth never started with them. For us, we sat down and said, what we are thinking about, other people are doing it. So why can't we do it if other people are doing it? So we sat down and said, we need to bring a step. Not just sitting down and say, we're going to be having the WCA TV and sit down, but we said, let's go ahead. For you to begin up something or to start up something, you will not need everything. Because if you're there and you want to start everything with everything you want, then for that you're going to be down forever and ever. Because you can't start with everything. If we are to start with everything, then that means we would not have the development. Because we started with everything, then why do we need development and other knowledges? Yeah.
So I think for you viewers, what we are picking up from this is that just being there and planning, having ideas in your mind without doing them is a form of procrastination. And from what he did as a founder, clearly he has not procrastinated. That's why we are here, and then we are giving you all the knowledge that you need and the little that we can give you. Mawere, we can see you are a youth like us. You go through these challenges and everything, but how do you put your life to a balance? As a youth, there are very many things that you're doing, but then how do you manage to manage people, cooperate different things, different activities, and then you plan ahead for this show to be there, you plan for the association to be there? Like, how do you do it?
This life is no balance. You can't have everything. But then me, as the founder, first of all, I use a word we. I don't use the word I. When I was to begin this thing, we sat down with my co-founder, Melvin, and we were like, what can we start? We are all literature students. Then, with the challenges we face, we are human beings. That's what I first got to know. Every human being has problems to face. The dead do not face any problem, apart from where we are not, maybe the heavenly problems. But when we are still on planet Earth, that means we have to face each and every problem. We all have problems. But then you sit down. The self-discipline in you. First of all, every youth, you have to be self-disciplined. Self-discipline adds up some very many things. I sat down and said, it is in me, the self-discipline is in me, that if I'm lazy, I'm not going to achieve anything. That is the self-discipline in me. Another self-discipline is that if I don't work for myself, my parents won't do it. They worked for themselves. They made me reach at a level where they can. The only treasure my parents can give me on planet Earth is education. And at my age, I need to be self-disciplined in that when I have problems, I don't ask myself why me. Because if it is not me, then who else? I don't ask myself why me. I just ask myself, if it is me, if this problem has come to me, how am I supposed to solve it? I don't run away from the problems I face. I just sit down, fight with them, go on the battlefield. We battle together with my problems. If I feel like I'm really caught up with all those problems, then I go ask for help. That is why I said I use we, not I. Because you cannot stand alone. One leg cannot stand alone for so long. That's why even the lame people are given another something that represents another leg. Yes.
Mr. Jolly,
Yeah.
you are an achiever in the youth world because, as I've been reliably informed, you are an author of different books.
Yeah.
You are a news reporter for different websites, but that all goes with your talent, your passion. Like, how did you discover that that's what you are meant to do? That's the line where you're supposed to go. Because very many youths out there up to now do not know what their treasure or gift is. What did you do that is different from the other youths that's helping you discover and grow this talent more?
First of all, I listened to myself. Many people came up and told me, in Africa, writing does not earn you any coin. They told me in Africa, writing is one of the worst jobs. I said, wow, why I would like to do the worst job. I have many friends. I said, one of the great writers, let me say Francis Mbuga, a Kenyan writer, professor. He's earning in his writings. I sat down and I said, if this man is earning, Ngugi wa Thiong'o. You get? I have a poet from up there, northern. I'm forgetting the name. She's a good poet, a news reporter. You don't need to listen. We don't, on planet Earth, we don't have any bad job. We don't have a job that does not earn. We don't have a talent that does not earn. It is the way you approach your talent. It is the way you make your talent. And in the 21st century, we don't have talents. We make talents. That is why these days you find music being taught in different music schools. In this 21st century is where you find musicians who really flat in their music, making hits. Musicians copying other people's beats, making hits. They made their talent. You get? Talents, yes, you might have a talent, but you have to make your talent. I'm gonna say this. When you're on the pitch, the coach doesn't care whether you have a talent. The coach cares. What effort are you putting in your football? You get? What do you come for the trainings? Even if it is Messi. Messi is talented, but he finds himself on the pitch with his talent. Ronaldo is talented. These days, youths in Africa, we are imprisoned by people we don't know. We are imprisoned by the mere things we see. You find someone wants to earn money from betting companies. You find someone is really spending a lot of money, a lot of time treasuring football, treasuring tennis, treasuring many things. Me, I treasured writing. I read books. Books took my time. There is a time when I was paying online coaching, writing coaches, and I was paying them 1,000 Ugandan shillings. You get? But now my writings, if my writings per month are being paid at my age, let me say 300k. When I used to only invest, I don't say I'm all that achieving. I'm also planning to achieve more. But I sat down and I said, I'm a youth. I knew my background. I don't care whether I come from a humble family or a middle class family, a first class family. What I care about is my family going to come from a first class family? Is my family going to come from a middle class family or from also a humble family like me? I got to know that, and I said no. I want my family to come from a first class family. What should I do? All youths, we waste a lot of time in the 20 years. Someone up with his 20 is very good and addicted at finding each and every girl on planet Earth. Commenting that girl is good, that girl is beautiful, that girl is ugly. You're wasting a lot of time. The time you waste now, you're going to regret it. That is why me, I sat down. Me to start up this thing, many people came up and said, you won't succeed. You won't even move any step. We started with 1,000. Me with Melvin. We started with 1,000. We went to 30,000. Now the association at least weighs something in the 2 years, at least 700k. At least. We see we are somewhere. Many youths there have an idea. A certain man said, Professor Lumumba said, in Africa we have ideas, very good ideas. Your ideas won't be good unless you sell them to anyone, to every person. People say we the poor are good at thinking. Fine, we are good at thinking, but we're not good at taking actions. Someone has an idea there of beginning up a hotel. And then that person has an idea of beginning with a hotel like Hotel Africana. That is a stupid idea. It's a good vision, but a stupid idea. Hotel Africana is not owned by one person. It's owned by great rich people you even don't know. Someone is a comedian but wants to be like Mariachi. Mariachi never started at a comedy store. He was just seen by Muhandi, then invited at comedy store somewhere else. That is what we call a talent. Know your talent, find a way of bringing up your talent. Education is the key, fine. But if you don't know how to use that key, it is a wastage of time. Because even if I give you many keys and I tell you, in that drawer, we have a lot of treasures. When you don't know the exact key that opens that drawer, you will again leave that drawer there. You will not get it. You have the key, but you don't know the exact key. Education is the key, but education does not give you a job. Education gives you knowledge of how to start a job. Education gives you knowledge to become an entrepreneur. In South Africa right now, 7.8 million people are unemployed. In South Africa, one of the most developed countries in Africa, 7.8 million people are unemployed. A woman called Anne in South Africa is a graduate in marketing. She has spent 3 years looking for a job in that category, and she's still looking for that job. Fine. Yes, you have a diploma in marketing. Fine. Start up something, use that job of yours, use that specialty of yours to go and market, because you are good at marketing. Now you own the market of your own good. You're a footballer. Own the ball, own the shoe of your leg, I mean. Youths, that is how we are going to overcome the catastrophe we have. It is not our elders that are going to come and fight for what we are supposed to fight for. They fought for the peace you are facing now. They fought for the economy you are facing now. Now you fight for the economy you want to see in 2030, in 2063. It is not your children that are going to fight for the economy of the 22nd century. It is we, not anyone else. Yeah.
Thank you for this profound background and the history of how you grew your talent and how you've managed to reach at the level at which you are. But what I've heard is that in life there are very many people who are going to speak negative about what you have, about your idea, because say that many people told you that you'll never make it, you'll never do this. But it shows that you listen to yourself, as you said. So I hope all the viewers who are there, please listen to what your heart says, but do not keep your ears deaf to advice. Exactly. Because we are given 2 ears, 1 mouth. Hence, we have to listen more, receive a lot, and we react to less. Don't let all the other people influence you, but help them, let them help you get better in achieving what you want.
And by the way, treasure a lot your enemies. Your friend will never give you a way to go. It's your enemy to give you a way to go. Because the more you find challenges, the more you will become smarter. Success will not give you everything you want. You will give everything you want to success. That is the only thing. Treasure your enemies a lot. Me, I can leave a friend out and I don't leave an enemy. Because an enemy gives me a way to go. Yeah.
You have talked about how you're from a humble background. So how did you do it? Like you've told us you had that one, but then how? Because running an association is not easy. It is not that it has the expenses are quite low. But how do you, as a youth, as a person who has started this, because there are very many youths out there who want to start something, who want to start up maybe an association like you did, who are from humble backgrounds. But what knowledge do you give them that you have used? What skills have you learned?
That is what I've said. Me, I had 1,000. How did it multiply? I never went to betting to multiply my 1,000. I used my 1,000 to sell my idea to other people. I said 1,000 cannot help me make an association stand. But 1,000 can at least help me make people buy my idea. I used my 1,000 to print out the proposals I had to give out to people, and they bought my idea. Some of them bought, some of them discouraged me. But my mind was never down. Before you nod your head when you are reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, before you nod your head when you are reading what does a rich dad tell his son and a poor dad doesn't tell, just know you in Uganda, you are in Africa, you are using rand as your currency. You are using Ugandan shillings, and you are reading a book of Robert Kiyosaki, who is using dollars, whereby $1 in your country is worth 3,000 Ugandan shillings. I'm not saying don't read the book. I'm not saying don't listen to the motivational speakers. Listen to every person. But do not just nod your head and understand like a cockroach. Whereby a cockroach understands now in a few seconds that where I'm going, I have, let me say, I have a wall in front. Then in 1 second, that cockroach goes back to the same wall. That is the self-discipline I'm talking about. When I first read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I said I have to become rich. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki had a dad who had, let me say, a factory where he went for working. You get? He used to earn. Then me, I say, in my family, if Robert Kiyosaki had an uncle who had a company, me, what do I have in my humble background? I said, I have a mother who is a nurse. I have sisters who are nurses. Their jobs need a profession. I said, fine. Then if in my area, my mom is a nurse, fine. And if my mom is a nurse, she can help me persuade other people she finds in the hospitals. Persuade them that my son has this and this. That is how we do. Instead of reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and instead of reading how to make money, to get your 30K, buy a book, how to get money, read it, then say, oh, that man is very wise, he's intelligent. How to make money is a book you've sold, and that book is going to go back to the copies that guy has sold a year. Fine, he has shared. It is good to share. That is why we say we fight through writing. That person is giving you an idea. Is not going to write in Ugandan shillings. Is writing in dollar. Read the literature. Understand the literature behind the book, the poet, the poetry. I mean, you're reading the scripture. You're reading. Those people are not going to write in your life. No. They are going to write the same lineage, the same thing they passed through. And then it is you to read it and say, if this person did it, and this, then let me, if I'm a footballer, I get 2,000 a day. This person sacrificed. Many people, Bill Gates tells us, he came from a humble family. Does not tell us how did he get away from a humble family and became rich. And his children are now from one of the first-class families. He doesn't tell us. I remember I listened to Ham. Ham said he built arcades from pancakes. I never heard anything from Ham saying, when I was still baking my pancakes, I used to keep such and such amount of money. I used to budget. I never had Ham telling us that I knew in front of me I have a great future. If you're there making pancakes, if you're there making, let me say, flying castle, just know each penny costs. Each penny costs. The 100 you are going to lose is the capital of your job right now you have. If you lose it, you are losing the 1,000 of the capital you are going to get tomorrow. That's what I can tell you. It's undermining jobs. I never undermined any job. Yes, I left out many jobs. Not saying they're not in my category. Because saying I have another option. I will talk about Ijoma, a Nigerian writer. She started up SWIN, Creative Writers International and Networks in Africa. SWIN International. That woman now, a day, makes 500,000 naira. She left a house where she grew up from, it is still there. And she narrates and says, the reason as to why you are still in that situation is because you're doing the same thing your friend is doing. What different thing are you doing from another writer? Are you going to read a book from Ngugi wa Thiong'o and then just copy the exact thing that Ngugi wa Thiong'o made? Let's talk about Fikfa Maker. Many people say Fikfa Maker is using other people's beats. Fine, I'm using other people's beats, but I used those beats that are not from Uganda. I interpreted them and made a Ugandan thing from my beats I copied. And now he earns what is enough. They say Mariachi is a stand-up comedian but does not write the stand-up scripts. I don't know whether he does or he doesn't, but he earns. I'm not here to do the perfect thing. I'm here to earn. The difference between Mariachi and other stand-up comedians is that Mariachi is using a talent just as like entering a studio and just start up singing. Like when we see a rapper called Notorious B.I.G. That is the difference. They are all singers but different. They are all rappers but different. Yes.
What we have got from this short interaction that we have, which our time is fast spent, our time is almost getting done. But could you please tell us what you, as the founder of WCA, a person who has been running this program for quite a long time, planning to help out youths out there, like what challenge do you see that, if not overcome right now, we are headed towards destruction in the youth's lives? If not overcome now, youths are going to remain poor. If we do not stand right now to fight it as youths, give us that one challenge and give us the most probable advice you would give us as you a vision.
I'm very sure I will give out like 3 challenges.
No problem.
The first challenge is meddling in things that do not concern us. Meddling in things that do not concern us. You find the youth is meddling in things. Politics is not a politician. Politics is not going to help you right now. Second, we think we run the country. We think we run ourselves. We don't run this country. The rich run this country. We are going to destruction because youths want money a lot, and the money they want, they can't work for it. When you go to Top Bet, when you go to Fortune Bet, when you go to other betting buildings, you will not find any elder person because they have the self-discipline in them. Youths are there getting the 3,000 and is putting them in betting. Wants to earn the 500 million. Stupid. Did you earn for it? Even the Bible, even the Quran tells you will not earn what you will not sow what you've not harvested. Why do you want to harvest somewhere you didn't even sow? The last thing youths are in right now, they think they are smart enough not to listen to the elders. There is a time when I thought I'm smarter than my mother. I only came down and realized that whatever my mother used to tell me, the outcome was the same thing as she used to tell me. I remember when I was in Ginger, in my senior four, I thought I'm smart. I'm not going at school. But then it turned out to be that the grades I got, yes, they were good, but then they were not good enough for me to do the biomedical engineering I wanted, because I could not take biology. You are not smart. If we are smart, make your smart head work well. And if you need to know more, we are going to hold a conference. We are going to call it Back to School Conference. All youths, we invite you, the Writers Club Association invites, it is for free. It is for free. We shall be posting the venue and everything in January. You come and listen to the people. Listen to how you will change your life and your self-discipline. I lastly tell you, have the self-discipline in you, have the self-discipline of working hard, have the self-discipline to be at school knowing that education is the key to success. Have the self-discipline to know that the person you are with at school, you don't come from the same household. Even twins that come from the same womb have different destiny and ways to go. And lastly, know, whichever path you hold is your decision, not anyone's decision. Do not blame anyone else. Your mind is making you sit down and only recall the bad things about earth, but let also your mind make you sit down and make you remember the good things that are in earth. Our economy is down, then where are the rich going to get? Where are the rich getting money if our economy is down? Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us on this meeting. This is WCA TV for you. We shall be bringing more and more youths who have achieved and accomplished a few things. Stay tuned, do not miss, please subscribe and click that notification bell so that you can get informed whenever we have an update. Stay tuned, have a blessed day. WCA TV.